Hi everyone, welcome back to Joanne Tech Lover. I'm Joanne, and today I'll be going over this MSI GT80 SLI-001 laptop. And this is a beast for gaming and definitely powerful enough for editing. I saw this back at CES, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my goodness, I need to unbox it. So I'm really glad that I get to do that today for you guys. And definitely one of the main draws for this laptop is its mechanical keyboard built in, and more on that in just a bit. Here's some of the accessories included in the box, but there are other larger accessories that I'll go over in just a bit. There is supposed to be a palm rest, gel-like palm rest that comes with it, but since this is a sample, I didn't actually see it, but you should get it yourself. So first up, let's look at the quick start guide. It'll tell you what the function keys are, as well as some of the specs of the keyboard. And then here's the manual, user guide, utilities, and driver CD, but you could of course download everything online. And then here's the hotkey F3 recovery function guide. And of course you get warranty. And if you have any problems or questions, please call the MSI support. I believe there's a number listed there for you. And they even have a cute little dragon keychain. It's, you know, it's all fluffy. Well, it's not fluffy, but it's very adorable. Inside this metal box, MSI has provided you something very special, and these are metal keycaps, which I've never seen before. And you have it for the WASD move keys as well as the escape key. I'm gonna just take one out. Do you hear that clang? Now that's quality. And they've also given you a keycap puller. I really do prefer the wire pullers, but this one's, you know, it's better than nothing. They've even included a 90s brick phone for you. How thoughtful. No, I'm just kidding. This is a ginormous 330-watt AC adapter for powering that beastly laptop of yours, and even the power plug is of a different fare, and this is the power cord that plugs into the power brick. You also get a backpack to store that ginormous laptop, and it is half me tall. Yay! Alright, there are multiple pockets in there that you could place all sorts of stuff, not just your laptop, of course, but it certainly looks good, doesn't it, in the red and black color scheme? Here's a look at the dimensions of the laptop. It measures 455.9 millimeters or 17.95 inches by 330.7 millimeters or 13.02 inches by 49 millimeters or 1.93 inches. And it weighs in at 4.49 kilograms or 9.9 pounds. As for the design, you get a brushed aluminum top cover as well as the panel that goes above the keyboard. You can remove that to get to your parts, and the edge around the trackpad. On this side of the laptop, you get ventilation holes, a Kensington lock slot, SD card reader, which I love because I transfer a lot of footage from my card to my PC, and there's an optical drive for those of you who prefer that. This is a Blu-ray burner, and it is above the SD card reader, the lock, and the ventilation. And then next to that, you get 3 USB 3.0 ports. One of the ports comes with supercharger, and you get a SPDIF out as well as headphone and mic jacks. On the front edge of the laptop, you get status indicators for Wi-Fi, battery, and hard drive activity. On this side, you get an additional 2 USB 3.0 ports, which is a lot, 5 ports total, and some more ventilation to cool off this laptop. On the back edge of the laptop, you get 2 vents for extra cooling, as well as 2 mini DisplayPort 1.2 ports and 1 HDMI 1.4 port. And the laptop supports 3 monitors in surround using these ports. And you also get a power port, as well as a LAN port with killer E2200 game networking. Here's a look at the bottom of the laptop. You do get some raised rubberized feet for grip and maybe a little bit of airflow that passes through. And there is also a subwoofer located here. And it also comes with an 8-cell battery. Above the display, we have the webcam, and it can stream 1080p video at 30 FPS. So for those of you who Twitch or just stream games or whatever it is, it's going to be awesome. You get an 18.4-inch anti-glare wide view FHD, which is 1920 by 1080 IPS display, so you should get very good viewing angles and great colors. In this section, we have the Dynaudio speakers, and they get really loud, which is definitely a plus. I'll turn it all the way up for you in just a bit. Above the trackpad are the quick launch buttons, so this is fan boost, and this will turn up your fan speeds if you really need it, let's say when your laptop gets hot or whatnot. So let's have a listen. You can really hear that fan whirring, huh? It sounds like I'm in a helicopter. Anyway, let's go ahead and turn this off. As you can tell, it's definitely working to cool your components. Now then, next to that we have the GPU button. This will switch between integrated and discrete graphics, and what I love about having a physical button is that I won't have to go into the control panel and then go ahead and change it from there. And next to that is the power button. Here's a look at the SteelSeries mechanical keyboard. I gotta say, I hate the mushy feeling of every laptop keyboard out there, so this is definitely a perk for me. I mean, I type fast, so sometimes on a standard laptop keyboard with chiclet keys, not every key registers, and I just go rage! And also, as you can tell, this has red backlighting, but it's not RGB. I'm going to go ahead and remove some keycaps with a wire puller so that I can replace them with the WASD caps as well as the escape key. As you can tell, these are Cherry MX Browns, so they're supposed to be more of the silent variant, and you get a slight bump feeling. I much prefer the blues because it's just more pronounced and click and bump. But anyway, let's go ahead and put on the metal keycap. Check out my keyboard's grill, yo! Now that's hot. Let's do a sound test. So single key first, and then with the metal keycap to see if there's a difference. Oh, heck yeah. Okay, and then let's do multi-key. Ooh, there's definitely a heavier thud with the metallic ones. Let's take a look at the function key commands, and I gotta say I prefer my function key on the right side and my Windows key on my left side. Just force of habit, I guess. Anyway, function plus F1 is the volume mute, function plus F2 will toggle between your various displays if you have them plugged in, and function plus F3 will turn the trackpad on and off. And function plus F4 is the P1 function, it'll let you set up the quick launch button to launch a specific app. And function plus F5 is eco mode, and it'll switch between different power saving modes. Function plus F6 is the webcam, and function plus F7 will shift between sport mode, comfort mode, and green mode. So for sport mode, it'll use the full power of your CPU and GPU. Comfort mode lowers the GPU power but grants access to CPU turbo, which keeps the temps cool. And green mode will have the lowest power settings for your CPU and GPU. And of course, these all affect performance. Function plus F10 is airplane mode, for those of you who travel, and then function plus F12 is sleep mode, so it'll force your PC to go to sleep. Function plus page up and page down will toggle the keyboard LED brightness. Here's a closer look at the arrow keys, and if you press function and arrow key up and down, you can toggle the screen brightness, and the arrow keys left and right will change up the volume. The keyboard is programmable via the SteelSeries Engine software. Here's a look at the SteelSeries Engine 3 software for the GT80 keyboard. You can easily assign macros and other functions to the keys, and also toggle the lighting via the software. This laptop comes with the MSI Dragon Gaming Center. You can check your system info, launch apps, and the Instant Play feature allows gamers to create profiles for different games, and you can go ahead and shift the performance modes here. And you also get a 6 months free trial for XSplit Gamecaster. The trackpad / numpad measures 4.3 inches by 2.5 inches. It's touch sensitive, and tapping the num key will switch the pad between tracking and the numpad. But for gaming, I'd still recommend using a mouse. The majority of the core components are located in the top panel above the keyboard. Just remove 2 screws on the bottom of the laptop in order to access them. And slide the top panel to the right and lift it off to access the memory and storage. As for the parts, this laptop comes with an Intel Core i7-4720HQ 2.6 GHz processor, and you get dual NVIDIA GeForce GTX 980M in SLI with 8 gigs of GDDR5 memory per GPU, and that's 16 gigs total, which is a lot. And yes, you heard right, 2 980M units running in SLI. That is so crazy. Anyway, and it's supposed to be 80% of a desktop's performance. And the graphics cards can be upgraded because NVIDIA's MXM graphics cards are not soldered onto the board like most laptops, and you'll have to remove the bottom plate to access the graphics cards. And it's really just unheard of. Anyway, so it's not recommended for users to upgrade the graphics cards on their own, as the process is a bit tricky. You get 16 gigs of DDR3L 1600 MHz memory via 2 8GB sticks, and you also get 2 additional SODIMM slots for extra RAM, and the max memory capacity is up to 32 gigs. As for storage, you get a 1TB 7200 RPM hard drive, as well as 2 128GB M.2 SATA drives in RAID 0 for better performance, and you also get support for up to 4 M.2 SATA drives, and you can also configure them in RAID 0. As for the operating system, you get Windows 8.1 out of the box, but I would recommend you upgrade to Windows 10 because it's free! Well, when it's available. And as for connectivity, this laptop does have support for 802.11 AC wireless and Bluetooth 4.1. Here's a game demo of Transistor on this laptop, and I like using this game because it's got some great colors and it just looks good. And the volume is on max, so as you can tell, it's very loud, but it's also got some nice, clean, clear sound. So let's get some action scenes going.
They beat us here.
gonna show you some Tomb Raider cinematics so you get another idea of how a game looks on this system. So here we go.
A famous explorer once said that the extraordinary is in what we do, not who we are. I finally set out to make my mark, to find adventure, but instead, adventure found me.
And now for some gameplay, so let's go ahead. It's been a while. Yes, but why don't we go kill something like an innocent rabbit? I'm just kidding, maybe. Oh my god, too scary, I'm running away, okay. I don't like this, okay. I already passed this. Okay, well, there you go, there you go. Oh my god, I can hear them behind me. I can hear the growling. Okay, I shall hide behind you, although you are probably very, very useless. By the way, the moire, which is the wavy pearly color that you see on screen, is an effect of the camera, not actually the screen. The screen looks great. Here's a small sample of the Heaven benchmark. I'm gonna run it in extreme mode and then go ahead and click run so you have an idea of how it looks. So it's just gonna load for a little bit. And there it goes. Now let's run Firestrike with 3D Mark. So let's go ahead and do that. This is mostly for desktop systems, but since this is so powerful anyway, I'm just gonna run it and see just how good the graphics look. So this is exciting. Whew, this looks good. I remember demoing this on other laptops before, lower end gaming laptops, and it just did not look this good. Not as crisp, clear, and definitely with the other laptops, you know, you could see some of the screen stutter and some pixelation, so this is definitely pretty amazing. Oh, he'd be sneaking up on you! Holy goodness, wow. You can actually see them fighting, like you can actually see the motions. Because I remember testing this with, you know, like I said, other gaming laptops, and it would just be slow, you know, you couldn't see the motions as well. Okay, this is definitely a very beastly laptop. All I can say is I highly recommend. I mean, this is Firestrike and it is looking beautiful. I totally feel like I'm a sports commentator right now. We were curious, so we tried this laptop on the Firestrike Extreme, but that's like, you know, a desktop system with, you know, multiple GPUs. So when we ran it, it had that kind of slow-mo effect, which it shouldn't have, but I wouldn't have expected it to be on par with a desktop system with multiple GPUs. So we're gonna go ahead and go to Skydiver. That's more of a laptop, you know, mobile GPU kind of test. So let's go ahead and run this. So So this is Skydiver in action, and that it looks really scary. Whoa, that looks sick. I'm pretty sure that this laptop will beat out most in the market in terms of this benchmark, and even the Firestrike one. That wraps it up for this look at the MSI GT80 SLI-001 laptop, and it is pretty amazing, I have to say. And if you like what you saw and you want to see more like it, be sure to hit the like, comment, and subscribe buttons, as well as follow me on social media. Joanne Tech Lover Facebook fan page, Joanne Tech Lover again on Twitter, and Joanne Tech Lover once more on Instagram. Also, please don't forget to hit the donate button so it can help expand this channel and feed this techie. Be sure to check out my Joanne Tech Lover website for blogs and other fun things, as well as my 2 other YouTube channels. JTL Lifestyle, where we'll talk about everyday random gadgets, and JTL Cuteness Overload, where you get an injection of cuteness into your everyday. And one last thing is storeenvy.com, where you can go ahead and check out my 8.5 by 11-inch autograph prints that you can buy. I guess all that's left to say is bye!